Hey guys, we're live. Thanks for tuning in today, guys. We're just having a bit of a chat off air at the moment, and yeah, we'll probably just make it a short one because Gar's a bit crook and I'm a bit short of breath actually because um, I've been doing my exercise lately. Actually, I went for a walk yesterday with the dog and that, but lately I haven't been doing going out because of the pollution here in Chiang Mai, and it's really bad. I mean, you can just Google it, and you find out that this time every year they have the burnings, and it usually comes from. I mean, it does come from in Thailand as well. Don't get me wrong, but also a lot of it comes from Vietnam. So it blows south and south east, and because of the way that Chiang Mai is, it's surrounded by hills, mountains. I mean, so once the smog comes in into the mountains, it just stays there, can't get out. So this happens for about a month every year. So generally speaking, because I'm an asthmatic, it's really bad for me. I don't try to get out too much because of the smog. Um, so I've been struggling a bit lately, but yeah, you know, there's a lot of stuff in the media about it. Actually, there's a lot of there's a lot of people kicking up a stink about it because the laws in because the things in like if this sort of stuff would happen in Australia, it just wouldn't happen in Australia. It just
Mm.
there would be such an uproar about it. But here in Thailand, it's okay to have like the third or the second worst air pollution in the world, and no one cares. The governments don't do anything
Wow.
about it. So and you can Google this stuff. But fortunately, it's only that only happens for about a month and a bit every year. But the
Yep.
point is, they don't do anything about it. They'll only do something about it once people complain and the tourists stop coming. Then they'll do something about
Mm.
it. So
Yep.
it's kind of, it's like, it's just, I don't know. It's just, and that happens with everything, not just with this problem, health problem, because breathing and air pollution is a big thing. It kills people every day. It kills people every year. It's actually a major thing. But it's like that with every government around the world. Something bad's going to happen. People are going to die before something's done. You know, it's kind of it. Just every situation you look at, no matter what the topic is or what the issue is, it's always the case. And it's pretty bad in America. It's actually bad all over the world. People got to die. Then it's like, oh, we better do something about it. It's kind of weird.
Yeah. Oh, it's
Um,
reactionary.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, we looked today. I probably won't talk too much about a lot of stuff because a lot of the stuff I've been saying is just the same sort of repetitive stuff anyway. And you guys will probably get pretty like you get like sick and tired of me saying the same thing. Um, and
What,
that's kind of
DCAing into Bitcoin?
yeah, so that's sort of like it's there's no point just talking about the same thing unless there's like something new, you know. But look, we're at 27. We did hit 28 um, yesterday, so we're down a K. Yeah, you get me
No,
your
it's
Bitcoin.
27.9.
Yeah,
27.9. So it's only down $100. Yeah.
yeah. So you're okay. Yeah, my bad. So you're getting it a little bit cheaper than yeah, it's down about $100. You get it a little bit cheaper, but you should be DCing anyway. And yeah, the numbers are still pretty good though. I mean, across the board, everything's sort of still pretty up there. I mean, Litecoin's 90, which is pretty good. Solana 20, and BNB still over $300. So it's still pretty good to be buying in DCAing, which you should be doing anyway. MicroStrategy, they're still DCAing. Their DCAing is a bit different to our DCAing. When we DCA, well, we might buy $100, 200, 300 every now and again. They go and buy 200, 300, 100,000 million, if not. They got a $205 million loan. So they're pretty into Bitcoin, if you want to say it. But all the stuff that's happening, all the stuff that's happening with China, this BCIS, I think it's called, which is the new currency. Oh, this is BRICS. Brazil, Republic of South
Isn't it
Africa,
Russia,
India, China. Yeah. So that's kind of like their agreement to use their own currency instead of the US dollar. But look, it's going to affect the US dollar, in my opinion, a little bit, because apparently it's only going to be like 20% major impact. But because most of the stuff will still be US, but it'll probably affect it a little bit. But in the long term, it's just going to really going to determine whether the US dollar crashes or not. It's going to be like more geopolitical and more military. I foresee it, because America's got the biggest army, and they're not going to. They can basically do what they want, push people around to make sure that their currency stays relevant and remains a default, right? So they can keep on printing money. So, but it'll all come to an end sooner or later. It may not come to an end in our lifetime. So the US dollar might not crash in the next 50 years. I hope I'm around 50 years. But even leading up to that, I still think that there's going to be dire straits for the US dollar. So things like Bitcoin become a lot more attractive anyway. So that's what the goal is anyway, is to keep on getting our Bitcoin, because that's really kind of our strategy out of it. I mean, just looking at the stories with the other stuff, I mean, there's not really more I can talk about other than...
I've got a bit of a recap. I've just got screen shared, and I'll just cover these couple of items here so you can see my screen. Yep.
Yeah.
Sweet. So I'll just recap a few things that have happened in the week. So I'll go through these quickly, and anything that jumps out, just jump in. So 10 million in asset manager BlackRock Paris headquarters taken over by protesters. Malaysian Prime Minister says there's no reason to continue to depend on US dollar. Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince says he's no longer interested in pleasing the US. Former President Trump says our currency is crashing and will soon no longer be a world standard. Bitcoin white paper is hidden in every Apple MacBook computer running recent versions of macOS software. I actually checked that myself. It's on the computer. It was amazing. That blew my mind, so I thought it was cool. U.S. presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. warns the Federal Reserve FedNow digital currency will result in financial slavery and political tyranny. Now, just on a side note, FedNow is actually going to be rolled out in July. That's how quickly they're going to roll out that digital currency. Bank of America, JP Morgan, and other banks subpoenaed over President Biden's financial records. 3 U.S. congressmen introduced gold standard bill to stabilize the U.S. Dollar value. So they're trying to do stuff to stabilize that. Twitter updates website logo Dogecoin. Wow, that created a big pump in Doge. And then they've taken it away now a few days later. And Doge, of course, went back down again. That was interesting. Chinese yuan replaces US dollar, becoming the most traded currency in Russia. China to invest $39 billion in Malaysia. US Treasury says decentralized crypto markets threaten national security. Russia and India abandon Europe-dominated oil price, agree on a Dubai oil price benchmark. Almost nobody paid taxes in crypto in 2022, Bloomberg reports. Former President Trump says China will probably displace the US dollar as the number one currency in the world. Fed official says Federal Reserve will need to raise interest rates above 5% and hold them there for a while. Thailand opposition leader promises $300 crypto airdrop per citizen if elected Prime Minister in May. There you go, mate. You might be in for a winner there.
I won't get it because I'm not a citizen, but my missus will
Oh,
get it.
bummer. Bummer. Well, that's good. Former President Trump's NFT sales have increased by 251% following his arrest. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis says Federal Reserve digital dollar threatens U.S. financial. Arkansas passes bill to protect Bitcoin and crypto mining. That's just a brief thing as what happened in the last week. And then there was one other video I wanted to share, which was this guy here. I haven't watched many of his videos except this one. And he was talking about becoming a crypto millionaire. Now, this was 1 year ago. Obviously, he's obviously not a millionaire anymore, perhaps. But the gist of this story was he talked about DCAing. You know, we talk about it all the time, right? But this is what he did. Now, he had in that time frame, he DCA'd 100K into Bitcoin. And over that period of time, it went to his portfolio was $1 million last year. So it's probably $500,000 now, I reckon. But if he still stood DCAing into it, you know, it could be a little bit more than that. But that was interesting watching that sort of video because there's plenty of other people that use that strategy of dollar cost averaging because it's an effective way to get in and there's just no emotion with it.
Yeah, see, this is the biggest thing that people forget. Either they forget or they just miscalculate or they don't understand or they just don't even know. And I saw this meme, I think this is by the Dalai Lama. I remember I went to one of his meetups actually back in the day, back in 1999 actually. I didn't get to meet him, but I saw him, you know, I was probably 5-10 meters away from him. Anyway, and basically what he says is, he's like this famous monk. You can research him. Anyway, basically what he said is that we think that we have time. That's the biggest thing about life. We think that we have time. And we don't have time because you can't get it back, right? So we have to, do things now because that's really kind of like what we have control of. And don't get me wrong, I'm guilty of this as well. Everyone's guilty of it, right? You know, we make mistakes, we do business, we make mistakes, or we go into something and we go, nah, I'm not doing that again. You know, kind of like, I'm not trying that again or whatever. But you have to continue go forward because what's working against you is the time factor. And with Bitcoin's in our favor in the fact that it's in that technology loop or that technology cycle where we're kind of like coming up to the precipice. We're not there yet. We're probably halfway up. But, you know, going back 10 years from now, we're going to miss that opportunity because of the price of what Bitcoin is now and what it can go to. Yeah, like if you're going to be buying Bitcoin at 500K, you're still going to make a profit because if you believe it's going to go to $1 million, so you're only going to double your money. But for example, now, just say it was 20K to make things easier, you could 50x your money. It's a big difference between 50x and doubling your money. It's a big difference. So it's 10x. So that's what I'm saying. We're in this technology cycle that it's not going to happen again. But now's the time to just do as much as we can. I know it can be difficult because obviously, you know, you might have one income or two incomes or whatever. You got to pay the bills. You got to pay the rent or the mortgage, and then you got all this shit that you got to pay, phone bill, internet. I mean, everyone's there right now. Everyone can understand that because everyone has to pay the same shit, right? So, but it's difficult because you kind of go manage your money, and then it's like, oh, you know. But like again, we're at that time, the technology cycle. If we understand Bitcoin, that's going to be the difference. You either double your money or you can 50x your money. So we don't have time. I understand we don't have time. We've got to do it now And if you just try to, it can be difficult because everyone's kind of like working a day job and stuff. Everyone's in the same sort of cycle, and but if you can just try to, I don't know. What I did was I made sacrifices earlier on, and then that's what kind of, and I got lucky as well. Got into a couple of things that made me quite a bit of Bitcoin. So, but then again, looking back on it, back in the day, what, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, if I wasn't eating my tuna and rice, because then I could save $50 that week by eating tuna rice and going to Aldi and buying all the dollar cans of tuna, and then I'd buy a big bag of rice. Those sacrifices I made back then, so then I could save $50 that week, and then that $50 I put it into. I didn't put it into Bitcoin because I didn't know about it. Well, it was 15 years ago. I don't think I knew about it back then.
Wasn't around then.
Wasn't around.
No.
So I was trying to do stuff online at the time, but the principle was the same. Like if I knew it about, man, holy shit. But the $50 I would then take that money and then just try to put it into something. Because see, at that point in time, I didn't have the knowledge I had, but all I knew was, hey, you know what? I've got fixed amount of income. If I decrease my expenses, it was just like 101 dumbass shit. Reduce your expenses, get that extra money that I had, and then put that into trying to get into something else that I could multiply it. And that was just my thinking back then. I was like, it was just really basic. And I was like, yeah, okay, this is what I'm going to do. Eat less, don't eat out, take that money and put it into something, and hopefully I can. So I was doing this over and over and over again. But I was kept on failing. But, eventually something stuck. But that's the thing. It's the same today. It's exactly the same today. If you can just do those things, to then get that extra money, to then squirrel away and put it into Bitcoin, or just figure out a way of getting more money, like starting a business, get another job. There's, Gary Vee says that they're trying to find, these companies are trying to find these millennials to work, and they don't want to go to work at McDonald's for, I don't know, $12, $15 an hour, when they can just go on YouTube or Instagram or TikTok, create a following of, I don't know, 50,000, 100,000 people, 1 million people, then start doing videos and stuff, getting brand deals, getting sponsorship deals, and they're making 6 figures a year doing that. Why the hell would someone go and work at McDonald's? Because that's what these young people are doing now. So it's kind of like the technology cycle, the technology that we have today has enabled people like the generation before me, the generation after me, the young people now that are in their 20s. It's easier than ever for them to just get a smartphone. Everyone's got a smartphone. Create some content, put it on TikTok, put it on YouTube, whatever, get a ton of views, and then either make money off the AdSense or the views, or get a shitload of money from brand deals. See, so once you get a following big enough, and people love you, then you can then, I know with my YouTube channel, when I had Crypto Expat, I was getting brand deals every day, or people messaging me. Most of them were scams, but I would actually make more money from the brand deals than the sponsorship deals and the actual AdSense. So even though I was talking about crypto, I was making money from crypto, and I was making money from the YouTube and the sponsorship deals. Then I was just dumping that into more crypto, and I was then what happened a couple of times is people approached me with the deals, and some of them said, "Oh, do you want? What do you want?" And at first I said, "Oh, I want ETH, I want BNB." So I started taking that, But then I thought about it. Then a couple of deals came along and they said, "Oh, we'll give you coins." And I said, "Yeah, well, give me the coins before, um, give me the coins before they actually go live." And they said, "Yeah, okay." So they gave me the coins. I already had the coins, and when the project went live, I already had my coins. So then I was just offloaded them, right? And that was my payout. And I think the biggest one I got was I may have made like 2.5 grand from just one um, video that took me about 10 minutes to make. But because I had the coins, they give me the coins, and because I was allowed to sell them, that was my payment for the sponsorship video. Within a couple of seconds, literally just went bang, and then I was like, "Oh, okay, this is great. This reminds me of the ICO days." So then I would get that. Obviously, I would have converted that back to BNB or ETH. I wasn't gonna hold that shitty coin, because it was just a shitty project that didn't last long anyway. This is shitcoin days. This is like a year ago, Garth. The old shitcoin days, and they were the good days. I mean, in the sense that everyone knew that they weren't going to last long, but everyone knew that they just pumped like crazy. And if you got into the right ones, and we did it a lot, if we got into the right ones, they pumped like crazy, get out. And we did have a lot of luck with that. People in our group made tons of money.
I remember distinctly when I did a trade with it was one of the platforms that they announced a sniper. I don't know if it was PooCoin or another one, but they had like this software that would snipe in on coins, if I remember rightly, like launches. It would snipe in, and they brought it live, and you had to buy so many tokens to get access to it. And I just remember when I saw it, I just went, you know what, I'm buying this coin. And I think I made 2.5 grand that week profit from that deal because as soon as people found out that like it was for sniping and you could make a lot of money, people just went and pumped that coin.
Yes.
And as soon as they pumped it, I sold and I made 2.5 grand cash for the week.
I remember
It was
that coin.
brilliant.
That was
it was like a platform.
Something with B.
Yeah, it was a platform that was it was like a little charting platform. I've probably got it in my screen up here.
I can't remember the name. It was started with B.
Yeah.
That was actually a pretty good project.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that was pretty cool. And we'll probably find it in a minute anyway. But yeah, made some good money off that. But yeah, that's right. Some of these shit coins, pumped. And that was how it worked. You knew they were going to pump and you got in there and you made your money, and that was about it. But yeah, it's interesting you're talking about the building a following and stuff like that. That's right. That's what a lot of younger people do now. Because why would they want to go work at a fast food joint? Because they're replacing them with computers anyway. So and with the latest with AI, I mean, they're literally, people have got no idea. I've starting to see stuff already with AI replacing jobs. So I saw on Twitter today or yesterday where a guy said he was paying $2,500 to $3,000 wages for writers. So I'm not sure what business he was in, but he had writers writing for him, and he basically replaced the writers with GPT-4. And he got his bill, and he showed a picture of the bill for the month, and it was 62 cents. So he fired 3 people working for him, probably in another country as well, that he was paying $3 grand for USD, replaced it and saved it, and it cost him 62 cents to run through the software to get the same quality of writing. So GPT-4, they reckon, is same as a human being, like $25 an hour human being. That's GPT-3 at 3.5 wasn't as good as a human being, but GPT-4 now is worth like $25 an hour. So anyone doing like those type of mining, I I'll say meaningless jobs, but those type of jobs, they weren't meaningless, but they were jobs that now that AI can take over. And we're starting to see every day there's more AI stuff coming out. It's quite interesting, like how it's kind of like a revolution. It's kind of like, maybe I've talked about this before, where you have technology that comes out and things dramatically change. So it's like when planes came out after, steam engines. So you had the railway lines and the railway networks, and that's how everything happened. And then they brought out planes, and then all of a sudden planes just took off, and that was a massive industry. Even though the trains were there, trains are not like the industry that they were 100 years ago, and planes took over. Well, now AI, since November last year with GPT chat coming out and that being released to OpenAI, it is now crazy. And it's sort of exponential because all these developers are using that software to create new products. And there is new products, probably over 100 new products a day coming out, like platforms that are like real money monetizing, that actually fix problems that are happening on a daily basis, and those businesses fix those. So it's quite fascinating where it's going to lead to. It's just exponential.
Yeah, because see, this is what's happening. There's two generations, like the generation before us and the generation before them. I feel bad for them. I hope it doesn't happen to us. I mean, it will happen to us, but if you stay active, that's what I'm talking about now. Build wealth with Bitcoin. It doesn't fucking matter in fucking 20 years time. You can be a dumbass and you'll be still um, uh, maxed out with well, you won't have to worry about money. But the problem is those people, the people that are in their 50s, 60s, and 65 plus, you see them working at McDonald's, you see them at drive-throughs, and that's the problem. Their generation is now working in those jobs because they've been left behind with the new technology now. So that's what's going to happen. I was watching on YouTube, and this guy popped up. Every now and again he'll pop up in my YouTube. I don't know. YouTube just knows. And what he does is he goes around America and he tours the poorest places in America. So I'm flicking through it and going, oh, okay. So I clicked on it because it was on my thing, homepage. Anyway, he's cruising along and he's going through this one of the poorest places in America. And I was just going, holy shit, this is really bad. And then he interviews people, and they're just like people that are in their 60s and 70s or 60s. In other words, their generation is what they know. They don't know shit about Google, or they know about the internet, but they don't know about AI. They don't know about, all this stuff about social media and how people are making money today. They don't know about e-commerce, or they do actually. They truck their stuff in from Amazon. That's how they get their food, from Amazon.
Wow.
Would you believe it? It's faster than the local. So they know how to buy stuff on Amazon, but they don't trust anything else. So anyway, long story short is this: those people, that generation, is just getting lost because they're not switched on. They don't know what the hell's going on in the world. They're just living in their rural America, in their house that they lived in all their life. That's a shithole now because the whole place is deteriorated. So the house value is worth nothing. But where are they going to go? Because that's their land. So they're going to stay there. They live on benefits and Social Security. This whole town in America lived on Social Security. There was like 2% employed out of like, I don't know, a couple thousand people there. So this is like, I'm just fathoming my mind. These people are like, they're screwed in their head because they don't know about anything that is happening in the world right now. And that's the problem because they're in a different time warp. Hope that doesn't happen to me and you, Garth, in 20 years' time. But
I hope
that's
not.
the thing, right?
Hopefully we'll stay up to date with what's going on and try and learn
Yeah, I
new
think
stuff.
we will. We won't know,
Mm.
but we'll know about the technologies. But this is what I'm saying. People can, people in this 15, 16, 7-year-olds, 18-year-olds can get a smartphone, jump on social media, create a following, and make 6 figures a year. And to those people that were struggling in that town. They have no clue that they can, generate something, some income, some way. So this is what I'm talking about. They're going to be replaced. The jobs were already replaced. They're just going to be like gone. They're only living on Social Security. So it's tragic what's happening in America in some parts. But that's why we got to, with the opportunity we have now with crypto, it's not going to go away. It's going to be they're just going to try to screw it down, but they're not going to be able to screw Bitcoin down. And when shit goes bad, which it will, you just got to tuck your Bitcoin away, and in my opinion, it'll be worth a lot of money in a short time. We're not talking a long time here. So
No.
This is our opportunity, our generational wealth right now. And in 20 years' time, it's going to be something new. Who knows what it's going to be new? It's going to be, I have no freaking clue what it's going to be. It probably will be something else. It won't be crypto. It'll be something better than crypto. But that's okay, because, we take the opportunity now. Will be good. Then we can sit back and go, yeah, okay. I can see in how that's evolving. It's changing. We can look back on it. But we gotta take the opportunity now, guys. Because one of my mates back in Australia, actually one of my really good mates, he always used to get when we used to get when we were like 18, 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds, we used to get drunk, as you do, because we're jobless at the time. We're on Social Security, and we'd kick back, and it was Friday night. We'd get pissed, so we'd put all our money together. We'd get a pizza because he worked at a pizza shop, and then his brother. So we'd put our $20 or something we had together. We'd buy a big ass pizza, and then we'd go to the bottle-o, and we get like a flagon, which has got like this wine that's in this cask. And then we'd buy some beers and stuff. So anyway, basically $20 got us, a bit of food and
A great night.
It got us a great night, especially when you're on,
Yeah.
back in those days. And we get pissed and have talk about world's problems, and we'd say, when we're 40, this is going to be this. It was crazy because we're now past 40. But he'd always say this: time waits for no man. And I'm like, you're a dumbass. You always say that. Time waits for no man. And he's so bloody true, because he used to saying that shit 20, 30 years ago. Time waits for no man. It doesn't wait for anyone. It doesn't wait. So it just keeps on ticking. And same with Bitcoin. Bitcoin doesn't wait for no man. It's just going to do its thing. And you're either going to be on the train or you're not. And that's it.
Yep.
Period.
Get on the Bitcoin train.
That's what we got. We got the Bitcoin train. So that's our train.
Yeah.
This is our train now, guys. So got to make the most of it. You don't want to be like those
100%.
people in rural America. Oh my God. It's terrible. It's tragic. I don't even want to talk about it. It's so sad. Oh, but other than that, mate, we don't want to keep on talking about the same shit, because it's kind of like
No, I think we covered it. We gave a wrap up. We gave a good story there. I think we've delivered some value. We haven't got too many people on live tonight, which is fine. But yeah, if you want to jump in Discord, we've always got our Discord. You can always join 100x Crypto Academy, and we're always there. So, and anything new that we put in there straight away. Actually, I think I dropped in there tonight. There was a couple of exploits that happened in the last couple of days. Another reason why DeFi is just a bad thing. Like millions and millions of dollars just got ripped out of. Actually, I might as well tell you now. Sushi Swap just got done for millions of dollars about 3 hours ago. Now, you would think that Sushi Swap would have everything covered. No. Fault in the code, the latest code for Sushi Swap, and they've lost a lot of money. So,
3.3 million in ETH was drained.
Yeah, that's right. And then before that, a few days earlier, another hack on Sentiment on Arbitrum network. They got hacked. Flashloan, I think it was. Yeah, so this happens all the time in DeFi space, and that's why, look, we used to be in DeFi a lot, but the risks are just too great, and the hacks are just continual. So until the technology and the security, like, it just fascinates me that the software has exploits in it that are just exploited all the time, and it's like it's like they don't even understand what they're doing when they do it, and then smarter people come along and take advantage of it. It's crazy, but that doesn't happen with Bitcoin because of the way it's designed. Yeah, obviously it doesn't have the advantages of, making like transactions like they do in the DeFi space and do that, but at least it doesn't get hacked every 5 minutes. You know what I mean? So that's another point for Bitcoin.
Yeah, look, that's why we have, it boggles my mind how much money they're losing in DeFi. Every time there's this new protocol, millions of dollars goes into it. I'm just like, you guys are just idiots. Because they actually released the figures for 2022. And the biggest way people got scammed or lost money in crypto was through DeFi. DeFi was the number one thing that led to people losing money or getting hacked or whatever. And people are still talking about DeFi in the sense that it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. It's so dangerous that it's probably the easiest way to scam people because no one's accountable. Oh, we got hacked. It was a code. So they'll just go, it wasn't our fault. But there's no accountability. But, you guys are running the project. You guys should have that code locked down. Well, we did, but, so there's always an excuse. So who are you going to call? Like, there's no one to call. There's no, that's it. So that's how they get the money.
Yep.
They scam you. And it's like, people are like, what can you do? You can't do anything. It's like, they're happening every week. So it's just acceptable. But if you've lost millions of dollars, so I honestly, guys, I don't put anything, I've got nothing. I think I've got a little few bits and pieces, but they're so small that I wouldn't even bother taking them out. It costs me more in gas. But everything else, I've taken all out of DeFi. I don't hold anything in DeFi anymore. And I've just got it in the safe stuff. That's all. And I've got it all locked down. So that's what I do. I don't touch DeFi anymore. But anyway, that's just what I do. You guys have to figure out what you want to do. But man, it's super dangerous. Look, there's still stuff happening with these launch pads. If you want to get into them, I think GameFi just launched a new project. This meta level stuff, token, whatchamacallit, whatever it is, play to earn game. I'm just not, because of what happened in 2022 and all these metaverses and play to earn games failing. Why would you put money into it? Again, it's just super risky. So with the launch pads, I know we did well with the launch pads back then, and that was when they were hot and we hit it at the right time. But now it's totally different. So they're done. So there's no way I would put money into it, unless probably Downmaker is the best one, which Garth alluded to, and so that was the best performing one.
Yeah, exactly.
Other than that, mate, I wouldn't touch them. So that's just my thoughts on launch pads as well as DeFi stuff. I'm just playing it safe and dollar cost averaging. I know that sounds boring, but if anything comes up, I'm always open to it. But and I talked about Canafox last week. Canafox, apparently they're going to do a payout this month. So
Cool.
I'll let you guys know about that. But obviously living in Thailand, I kind of keep up to date with what's going on here. And it's a political shitstorm here as well, just like every other country. The elections are coming up in May. And it's probably likely that the cannabis bill may not push through, or They might just keep it as medicinal. So they're trying to. There's people that want to stamp out the recreational, but I think that would be a mistake. I reckon they should just regulate the recreational, lock that down, and say, okay, you can't smoke it on the street, or you need to be over 21, or you can still smoke it, but you've got to be an adult, and there's restrictions. You can only buy so much. Because in every other country, like United States and stuff, they've done studies on this stuff, and it's like anything. If you drink yourself stupid every day, well, then you're going to become an alcoholic. But if you have 2 glasses of wine or 1 glass of wine, it's actually good for you. Okay, so it's like anything. If you overindulge in a certain thing, then it's going to screw you up. It's like pot. It's like marijuana. So why I'm telling you that is because if they don't, the bill doesn't push through, then the investment I've made in Kennefox is probably going to go to shit. You know what I mean? But that's part of the risk. So I'll assess that when I get the payout. It's probably not going to happen for a few months with the legalization of the cannabis bill anyway. So what I've got to say to that is there's people that have invested millions of dollars from outside Thailand that have come from the States, Europe, that have gone, okay, cannabis is now legal in Thailand. They've taken all that shit that they knew back then and dumped millions of dollars into grow farms, the equipment. Basically they've just set up shop overnight, and they got these massive factories, all just growing weed because it's legal. And what's happened is now they're a lot of this weed is coming in from internationally. So they're importing the weed, and it's screwed up the local economy because all this cheap imported weed is coming into Thailand, probably from the States, and now it's screwing up the local. The local guys are like, this imported stuff is now screwing up the market. So we'll see what happens. I'll let you guys know about the Kennefox. I do get the first payout and what's going to happen. But as far as I'm concerned, I would probably hold off on that one. I wouldn't invest in it. It's probably risky, too risky. But anyway.
Yeah.
Other than that, mate, just laying low. If you guys want to get into NFTs, knock yourself out. There's still plenty of NFTs launching. And there's still plenty of shitcoins launching. So, pink sale.
Right. Yeah.
Woo-hoo. We got Peach Inu pre-sale. We got King Kong. King Kong is launching.
Oh, they've got some great little cartoons, haven't they?
Ducky AI. You know what I mean? Donald Inu. It just doesn't stop. Ho ho. Ho ho. Holiday holder. Whoa, this one looks like a good one. Looks like he's a YouTuber. Let's just go to holiday lottery on the blockchain. Utility live at launch. Off-chain lottery profits will be used for buyback, burn, staking, based incubator, and 100 coins after launch. Calls after launch. Low startup market cap. First holiday lottery. What a load of bullshit. So if you want to piss your money away, check out Pink Sale.
That's it.
That's all happening. Why do people invest in this stuff? I just unless they're the people creating the stuff, then they're laughing at these people putting their money in this shit because they know that they've only registered the domain for 1 year, and there's a reason for that.
That's it. That's funny.
It's all fun. Anyway,
Cool.
Unless you've got anything else to share, Gar.
Nah, I think we'll wrap it up.
Oh, we did have a question. Blue Steve says, have you heard of Ordinal's BRC 2020 token? No.
Is that for the Bitcoin ordinals?
Oh, you were talking about Bitcoin ordinals a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah. Let me double check the BRC20. Let me have a look at that.
Yeah, it was probably
BRC20.
4 or 5 different webinars ago, maybe back.
Oh yeah, BRC20 is the Bitcoin ordinals. Yeah, we did that. Yeah, probably 3 or 4 webinars ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you must have missed that one, Blue Sleeves. Yeah. So I can't remember which one it was, but we did talk about it. It's actually doing really well because there's still. I read a report yesterday that said that there was a huge, still a huge interest. I don't know. It was something like a million. Like there's a million of these ordinals put onto the Bitcoin. So it's not something that is like stopped. It's continuing. So I think we're going to see more of that and maybe more case use of it. I also saw Bitcoin Lightning, what they claim the transaction speed is. And the transaction speed, I think, was 25,000 transactions per second. And I think Visa was 4,500 transactions per second. So yeah, there is a lot happening on Bitcoin just by itself. So I think it's good. I don't have really. I mean, there's some different platforms. I might drop a couple in the Discord so you can check them out, where you can actually, if you want to participate in them and buy and sell these. I mean, not really NFTs. I'll just say ordinals because they're different. So I might put some links in there if you haven't come across them already, and you can check that out. So yeah, no, it's pretty good. But they are pretty cool. I don't know if there's really people making money out of it yet. Time will tell. So.
Yeah, well, MicroStrategy is continuing to buy Bitcoin. Like they just bought a bunch more Bitcoin, and they're dropping their Lightning. I think it's an app pretty soon. This year, they said. So they've obviously got something in the mix, and whatever it is, obviously it's going to be got to do with Bitcoin Lightning. I mean, Bitcoin Lightning's great. I mean, it's almost instant. There's no transaction fees. Literally, I can send it from one wallet to another, and within literally by the time I close down that app and then open another app, it's right there. So it's less than a second, probably half a second. So Bitcoin Lightning was already working, and it works perfectly. It just doesn't do smart contracts. But that's not what Bitcoin was created for anyway. It was created for a payment system, trustless payment system. So that's Ethereum does all the crazy DeFi stuff. But yeah, Bitcoin Lightning works perfectly and it's flawless. So we'll see what MicroStrategy does on how they tackle the adoption issue. People are selling ordinals for 1 BTC and marketplaces are being developed. There you go. So probably have to look more into that and see the worth of them, because that's going to create a secondary market. It's just like NFTs, right? The NFT has value because it does this, and this. Then people pile into the NFT because of the utility it has on Ethereum, and so I don't know. I'll have to do some more research in the ordinals and see how this affects, or could be an opportunity, or could be more of a how this relates to BTC. Because I don't want to be jumping on you. This is like NFTs, right? They're not NFTs, but I mean, I'm talking about NFTs. You jump on these NFTs because of whatever, and it's a pumping up. And funnily enough, did you know that since the drama with remember I was talking about Trump NFTs?
Yeah,
how they double in value. Well, they doubled again because of when he's was he getting? I don't know. I don't follow it, but apparently he was arrested or something, or indicted or something.
Yeah.
Well, the value of the NFT went up again of his official Trump NFT. So that kind of makes sense, because if he's going to be locked up, everyone's going to be wanting to get in hand of these. Okay, they're not NFTs; they call them trading cards. It's kind of weird. Holy shit, they're worth 0.4 ETH now. Dude, he was selling these for $100 a pop. I'm sure it was $100 a pop. Or was it
It probably
200?
was.
I think it was
It's
200.
gone up a lot.
Remember we talked about it?
Mm.
Yeah, sorry, $99. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so they were $99. They mooned to like $400. Then they went back down to 200. And now if you go on OpenSea, holy crap. And this is kind of like, this is kind of would make sense with Trump because of his because he's a political figure. And he's obviously got a lot of so they this actually sold out within a couple of hours. This one here, I remember talking about it. I actually did a video on it. So they were $99. Then they sold out. There was 45,000 of them. 45 being 45th president, right? And people were like, but then again, he would have had all these cronies, all these people that love Trump buying it, right? If you go to OpenSea now, look at it, 13,000.468 ETH trading volume. I mean, have a look at the activity. See, so since the probably here, maybe, I don't know, or maybe here, I don't know, when he got arrested, they mooned.
Yeah.
0.4 ETH, dude. So now they've gone for whoever invested $100 and bought a shit ton of them, they're basically 900 now. Wow. So they've 9x'd. So there you go. Trump. Bloody Trump, right? There you go. Trump did it. He made you some money. Love or hate him. Oh God, he's hilarious, man. He's shit. But anyway, mate, I haven't got anything else. Unless you've got anything else, we might call it.
No, I think we'll wrap it up.
Yeah. All right, guys.
Thanks, Blue Sleeves, for jumping on. Appreciate that.
Yeah. Good to see you. And if you have any questions as well, jump on because we have these that'll go out live. Okay, so you don't have to be a Discord member, Patreon member to see this live stream, but you can join our Patreon anyway at 100x Crypto Academy, and there's like 3 different levels. So you can get in, support us at lower levels if you want. And you can continue this conversations in Discord. All right, guys. Well, have a good week. Say that every week. I'll hopefully be able to have a better week and this bloody smog goes away. And yourself down there, it's getting a bit cold down there, a bit chilly down there too.
It is. You're hot over there and it's cold here now.
It's 38 degrees here today.
Yeah, I think it was like 17 or something here.
It's crazy. So there you go. We're battling the elements, both of us.
All right, dude.
All right, guys. Have a good week, and we will see you next week.
See you guys. Bye.
Catches.